ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Okay, my dear friends, Namaskar. This is the second video on the book Sorupa Saram, highly recommended and most liked by Maharishi Ramana. He liked this book very much. I have included the verses from 1 to 44 in my first video. Now I start the second video from verse number 45. Question: why does everyone not perform this worship? Answer: because of ignorance. When the three prime fruits, mango, jackfruit, and banana, along with rice pudding made with milk, are right in front of them, they will long for food vomited by a dog. Without knowing that we ourselves are the great essence, the basis of all things and all powers, they become slaves of the mighty. Verse number 46. This concerns the fate of those who insult Gyanis. They do not know fairness and rectitude. They do not know the phantom-like nature of the world. They do not know themselves. They do not realize the disgrace that arises from their ignorance. They are dark within themselves and without any reason insult those who are good, the righteous. Which way will these people go? Verse number 47. Question: are all books other than those Jnana scriptures that speak of supreme bliss not true? Answer: no, they are not true. The five flowers are his arrows. The six-legged beetle is bowstring. The soft sugarcane is his bow. This formless Cupid is valorous warrior. He will infect everyone with powerful lust. All this is false. Similarly, is all this barren world appearance true? You yourself reply. Verse 48. Question: are time and so on false? Answer: to those who are not attached to anything, they are certainly false. Be it time or God or karma or illusory observances, the workings of the mind, the great enthusiasm that accomplishes things to him who is not attached in any way, where is the question of taking them to be either good or bad? Verse number 49. Question: are they, time and so on, at least necessary for the body? Answer: since the body is not self, they are not needed. Why are they born? Those cunning ones who do not seek their self. What is this body that has come into being through the food? Who is the I? How many were the bodies that were discarded before? Innumerable were the bodies that were taken with delight again and again. Verse 50. Question: but are all these jivas reflected consciousness? Answer: as there is no knowledge without the Guru enabling one to know, they are only reflected consciousness. To reveal the unreal as unreal and the real as real, truly a Guru was needed. Alas, all the jivas becoming kings and achieving greatness are only reflected consciousness. Verse number 51. Question: why should the one Brahma appear differentiated as many as reflected consciousness? Answer: to those who do not see it as one, it appears as many. What is the truth of the world? Reflection that appears in the one Brahma but does not appear as one. Like the scenes that appear to the vision of a bewildered person, the world appears as many only to those with defective knowledge and who therefore do not see it as the one reality. Verse number 52. Question. When all is one like this, what is the reason for not seeing it as one? Answer. I do not know the reason for not knowing the self that exists as one's own self. What a wonder it is that one seeks the self without knowing the self. What can I say of this? Know that this is like a person in this world standing neck deep in water, having his thirst unquenched. What else can we say? Verse number 53. Question. What is the way to see the self? Answer. By abiding still in the self. This is the essence of inquiring into the scriptures. You who, babbling the scriptures, become haughty. You who accumulate karma with your caste and lineage. Can you not become sattvic? Know yourself through yourself. Give up unceasing activity and remain still. Verse number 54. Question. Can devotion to God be jnana? Answer. There can be no devotion apart from the devotee. Those who are wallowing, identifying with the body will perform puja, wave lights and bring their palm together in salutation before the idol of the god with much longing, but they will not inquire whether the true God is the worshipper or the idol. Verse number 55. Question. Is it not necessary to go and see the car festival? Answer. No. The one who sees the car festival should be seen. They will go see and salute the car on the auspicious day of the car festival. Alas, leaving their self, whom are they going to worship? The God seen in the car is not fullness. Does anyone not know this? Verse 56. Question. If so, is yoga good? Answer. For knowing consciousness, it is not necessary. They will practice the highly respected yoga, remaining in a corner and controlling their breath and speech, foreseeing and abiding as supreme consciousness. Why this sadhana? They are attempting to eat and live here for a long time by making the body strong. Verse number 57. Question. In that case, can sannyasa be good? Answer. True bliss which is present in those who renounce the ego is not there in sannyasa. How then can it be good? Without any difficulty. They will take up a begging bowl in their hands. They will shave their heads and wear only a loincloth. And they will appear to be great ones. But will they also experience the bliss of sleeping without sleeping? That is experienced by those who have renounced the ego. Verse 58. Question. In that case, are scriptural study and spiritual practice not necessary? Answer. To those who have seen the self which is their true import, they are not necessary. To see one's self, what shastra is needed, what sadhana is necessary. Is not all this a mad game? Those who regard as real the illusion that has arisen like the imaginary imp created to scare simple-minded people will not see the self. Verse number 59. Question. Is not sadhana necessary to know the self? Answer. What use is a sadhana that does not enable one to see the sadhaka? The objects which are seen to be many, such as male, female, and neuter, and the seer who remains as one, all this is only the manifestation of the excellent consciousness. Can they exist apart from consciousness, however much sadhana they practice? How will it be used for those who do not know this clearly? Verse 60. Question. Why do they suffer instead of inquiring and realizing the self? Answer. They suffer because what they have known to be one by studying has not been experienced. What does it matter to the realized ones? Who lives and in what way? What does it matter to the realized one? Who goes where and in what manner? His solitary state is like that of a bat in its roost. He will be detached in every way and will sleep experiencing the blessed state that never leaves. Bliss is only for him. Verse number 61 question. Is it not necessary to know the nature of Ishvara and Jiva? Answer. Since Shivam is non-dual, it is not necessary. They will say that Ishvara is infinite and that Jiva is finite. They will say that Jiva is like the eye and that Ishvara is like the sun. These two definitely cannot be non-dual. Pure consciousness, which is neither of these two alone, is Shivam. Verse 62 question. Then what is the way to attain Shivam? Answer. The way to see oneself is by rejecting everything else as Maya. The inert semen become the fetus and then become alive by mixing with the conscious principle. It appears to be real. When this happens, he who contemplates his real nature regarding all this as illusory is Shivam. Verse 63 question. Will not those who know the past, present and future become Shivam? Answer. Only those who have seen the self which is beyond time are Shivam, not those who know the three periods of time. The self-effulgent self destroys both night and day, the two that determine yesterday, today and tomorrow. Hence he alone is Shivam, who has become the self and who consequently worships the auspicious day that remains perpetually as the one unique day. Verse number 64 question. If one renounces the Jnana Shastras, how can one attain the bliss of liberation? Answer. Liberation is only delighting in the self through tranquility and without anxiety. When this is attained, what is the use of books? One may know the Jnana Shastras or take up good sannyasa or attempt to experience Mauna Samadhi, but the indescribable delight of liberation is simply to become the self, remaining free of all anxiety, experiencing bliss. Question continued from verse 64. He may be endowed with learning or established in great yoga, or his yoga and senses may be active. But he who does not merge with supreme grace will not know tranquility and will not obtain the final reward, the bliss of liberation that never fails. Verse 66 question. If so, do they not have to experience even prarabdha? Answer. If one remains without movement as the self, like the column supporting the windmill, the prarabdha will exhaust itself. You base ignorant ones wallowing in the three types of prarabdha. If you understand that those who accepted alms will now be donors, you can be like the column that supports the windmill. Verse 67 question. But will not this experience come to everyone? Answer. If one becomes inward turned instead of being externalized, this experience will come for everyone. I declare, if their minds are directed inward, attending to the light of the self, and do not become outward turned, all those upon this earth are capable of seeing the self, just as I have seen myself. Verse number 68 question. Don't jnanis have to perform karma? Answer. Since they have seen the truth of both action and the one who performed the action, they do not have to perform activities. He who has clearly seen in his mind both the performer of actions and actions themselves, who has thus redeemed himself and become the reality, will he perform without fail in every birth, every action at the prescribed time. Verse 69 question. Will the Gyanis hate the Karmis, the performers of activities, when they see them? Answer. They will delight in seeing the Karmis in the same way that they witness conjuring tricks, but they will not hate them. seeing the deceitful ones who cannot see and enjoy reality as it is and who cannot melt by experiencing it. I rejoiced. However, many illusory lotus flowers bloom. Is there any anger on the part of the moon? Verse 70. Question. How did this experience arise? Answer. It was obtained providentially through the grace of the Guru. Like a sweet mango fruit appearing under the thorny Caruvalum tree, the divine lotus feet of the Guru, who has the power to bestow the grace to transform me into the reality that is sought by everyone everywhere, came to me who was replete with evil, taking birth over and over again. Verse number 71. Question. Is getting this experience so difficult? Answer. It is extremely difficult. Bhagwan. Prarabdha, the actions the body has to perform in this life is of three categories: Ichcha, Anichcha and Prichcha. Personally desired, without desire, and due to others' desire. For him who has realized himself, there is no Ichcha Prarabdha. The two others, Anichcha and Prichcha, remain. Whatever he does is for others only. If these are things to be done by him for others, he does them, but the results do not affect him. Whatever be the actions that such people do, there is no punya, merit, and no papa, sin attached to them. Letter from Sri Ramana Maharshi, 3rd June 1946, page 65. The column that is necessary for the existence and operation of the windmill remains unaffected. Only the sails of the windmill move. Similarly, the self is unaffected by prarabdha, only the body is affected by it. This is a rhetorical question for which he assumed answer is no. Where is my state of remaining as the ego? Where is my attachment? Where is my desire to rule heaven and earth? Shiva, Shiva. Where is the Jnana Guru? Where is liberation? How can I express this? Verse number 72. Question. What is the benefit of this experience? Answer. It is obtaining the self that is beyond the mind. I did not obtain anything other than myself. I had myself in my possession all the time. Separate from me, there is no bondage or release. If one sees this, even the mind that inquires into this is non-existent. Verse number 73. Question. As soon as one obtains this experience, who should be worshipped? Answer. The Guru, the I, and the body should be worshipped, seeing them as one's own self. I will worship as my own self the gracious Guru, who showed everything to be like a conjurer's trick, or the self that is realized after thus scrutinizing everything, or the body temple that came into being to terminate the evil of birth. Verse 74. Question. How to get rid of the vasana of the gross body? Answer. It should be rejected by seeing it as the form of food. You body who remain as the seat of food, if you do as I tell you, you will experience bliss as long as you live. I swear to this. Do not go near evil and useless vasanas. Whatever comes according to prarabdha remain a mere witness. Oh, verse number 75. Question. How to remove or be rid of the senses of perception? Answer. They should be removed by seeing them as the self. O senses, you cherished and nourished me all these years. Now I have become blissful consciousness. Even you who appear to become different from me, I have come to know as myself. Henceforth remain one with me without becoming divergent. 70, verse number 76. Question. How do we rid of desires? Answer. Through desire for realization of the truth. O desire, though I suffered much through you on account of your help, I dwelt in the self. I reached the Sadguru through you. In liberation, I have along with you become the self. I swear to this. Verse 77 question: how to destroy anger? Answer: through tranquility. O anger, through you I rid myself of my deficiency. Because of the weariness experienced by your rising that invariably produced misery, I rid myself of this danger and dwelt in supreme tranquility. Even in dream, do not rise up in lamentation but remain calm. Verse 78 question: how to get rid of avarice? Avarice. Answer: by abiding peacefully in the self. O avarice, I took you as my relation. Those who do not know the truth say that your form is only sin. You will exert yourself hard merely to accumulate. O sinner, because of you I am now possessed by peace. Verse number 79 question: how to dissolve the mind? Answer: it should be dissolved in the self which is its basis. O mind, I myself am you. You yourself are me. Despite being so deceitful, you forget me. That I am surrendered to you is also true. But do not remain different from me, the reality. Verse 80. The same answer continues in verse 80, 81, and 82. My mind, you roamed about, labored hard, and learned many arts, seeking a way to make a living. You ought and gave me Sadguru. To you who were so considerate to me, what help did I render in return? Verse 81. O mine, just as I once remained, assuming your form, now you have come and merged with me as my own form. Is there anyone like you who values the virtue of gratitude? Dwell henceforth in the loving care of the Supreme State without returning to your prior form. Verse 82. O mind, you remained right from the beginning without renouncing love towards me. Through that love, you gave me the benefit of cultivating all the virtues of a devotee. Beginning with forbearance, you removed desire and its progeny. Now, like me, you remain still through good and proper discernment. Verse 83 question: will the mind subside through the above means? Answer: if it is firmly established in the experience of the self, it will then shine as consciousness and remain still. As my mind roamed about, I too was similar to it, thus allowing myself to remain in an unquiet state. With my mind remaining still and motionless, I too remained similar to it, shining and dwelling like gold. Verse 84 question: are there no likes and dislikes in this experience? Answer: since everything is experienced as the self, these do not exist. Whatever is to come, let it come. Whatever is to live, let it live. I will not reject even a life of living on alms as defective. Neither do I desire in the state of Brahma. I became all actions. Verse 85. Will he worship God? Answer: he has no worship other than the worship of seeing everything as his own self. What I extol everywhere is only myself. What I worship everywhere as God, that too is only myself. In all places, sitting, lying down, and running are all performed only in myself. I myself am the enjoyer and that which is enjoyed. Verse 86. Question. Is this the experience of all Gyanis? Answer. There is no experience other than this experience of the self. He who has attained liberation will see as not different from his self all this world that rises in the self, which remains in the self and which merges in the self. Will he see it as opposed to his self? Verse 87. Question. Will likes and dislikes arise in him? Answer. As everything has become his self, they will not arise in him. For what will he desire? For what will he rise as I? For what will he experience envy and malice? He will dwell as the unmoving spot for everything, as the sum of all things animate and inanimate, like the great Meru mountain that is the axis for the seven worlds. Verse number 88. Question. Will not this experience cease? Answer. Even if the creations of Ishvara falter, this experience will not cease. Even if the cardinal points change, even if the moon gets burned, fire becomes cold, or the sun travels north to south, the self state of the liberated one who has inquired through into the thoroughly into the primal state will not cease. Verse number 89. Question. How to determine those with such experience? Answer. They remain unruffled in joy and misery. They should be known by taking this as the hallmark. Only he is a jnani whose mind does not get agitated, who does not identify with and desire objects before him, and whose state of purity never wavers whether he lives on alms in poverty or enjoys the illusory state of being Brahma. Verse 90. Question. Will they not care for praise and slander? Answer. No, they will not. Some may utter praises and worship, or evil and cruel ones may utter words of slander and insult, but the Jnani's mind will not associate with them. He will remain without thoughts like the sky that remains the same whether the sun rises or vast collection of clouds appear. Verse 91. What is food for the Jnani? Answer. Whatever happens to come to him is food for him. Whatever enjoyments present themselves to him and in whatever measure he will undergo those pleasures. Like the sun that spreads its rays, he will remain free of bondage in the unique and natural state. Verse 92. Question. Will not the ego nature beginning with desire touch these jnanis? Answer. As they have attained total destruction of vasanas, it will not. Desire, anger, and so on will not touch the liberated one, who has become the form of consciousness and the witness of the world, since he has uprooted and destroyed all the base vasanas and is therefore without sankalpas. Verse 93. Question. Do they not need to stay in a holy place or take bath in holy waters and so on? Answer. The place where they reside is the holy place. Their look is holy water. The place where the unique Jivan Mukta, who exist everywhere equally, reside is itself the holy place. His look itself is holy water. The service to his lotus feet is itself liberation. Verse number 94. Question. What are the eternal attributes of a Jnani? Answer. They are soft words and so on. They are soft spoken. Their look is free of desire. They experience everything to be Sat alone. They have a measured gait and their mind is filled with a joy that never diminishes. The characteristics of a Jnani is to be ever firm in these. Verse 95. Question. What does the Jnani think? Answer. There are only thoughts that everything is the self. The Jivan Mukta is he who has become one with the reality. Through the experience, I have seen myself everywhere. I have seen everything in me. Who possesses intensely and clearly the experience of having learned, unlearning, and who has renounced everything. Verse 96 question: what is proper conduct and what is prohibited conduct for Gyanis? Answer: actions they undertake are proper conduct, actions they abandon are prohibited actions. For the Jnani has become one tranquil and blemishless, everything beginning with space and including the other elements is his own form. The action he abandons are prohibited actions, and the actions he takes up are proper actions. Verse 97 question: what are the disciplines and pujas for the Jnani? Answer: they are meditating on the self and so on. Meditating on consciousness is bathing for a Jnani. Whatever external appearances he delights in, that is noble discipline. Whatever he obtains as alms and eats without ego, that is his supreme puja. His faultless moments are pure samadhi. Verse 98 question: the actions that should be performed and the actions that should be avoided, are these not necessary for Jnanis? Answer: as they remain as Shivam, they do not exist for them. To the Jnani who has become Shivam, having seen all the universe as his self and as the form of consciousness, what is there that should be shifted and rejected, and what is there that should be accepted as proper? Verse 99 question: what is the state attained by those who criticize the conduct of Jnanis? Answer: it is the hell of transmigration. Know that those cruel ones who view as faulty the life of the Jnani who has attained supreme bliss will experience crore upon crore of births like the silkworm that never gets detached from its cocoon. Verse 100 question: what is the benefit obtained by those who worship them? Answer: it is becoming the non-dual self. Those who are able to obtain the grace of the Jnani who remains as the eternal, formless, blemishless, blissful and pure non-dual reality, and for whom everything is his own self, will become Jnanis. Verse 101 question: how will the Jnani shine? Answer: he will shine as everything and as different from everything. They have rid themselves of the blemish of the mind, and they have rid themselves of the mind. They have rid themselves of the entity within the mind. They have transcended the shore of jnana. They have rid themselves of the blissful state of consciousness, the supreme. They have rid themselves of the experience of Shivam. They have also rid themselves of all concepts. The benefit of studying this work. Verse number 102. Those who are able to enjoy through their 2 years the savor of Sorupa Saram, which describes the experience attained at the proper stage of ripeness, will be able to see the entire world as their own. So here the video ends. Thank you, my dear friends, for listening and watching this video. Thank you so much. Please share, like, and comment the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Namaskar, namaskar, dear friends. Namaskar.